Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jack. Back again to go over my main and goals for Season 3, talking about which healer I'm going to be maining, what ults I'm going to be playing a lot of, and what are some of the goals I had in Season 2, whether I hit them or not, and what are my new goals going into Season 3. Now, it might come as a shock to you guys, but once again, I'm going to be going into the new season maining Priest. I've gotten every cutting edge on Priest all the way back since Siege of Orgrimmar. That was my first cutting edge. Reached it on a rogue, and then immediately re-rolled to Priest right afterwards. Got my first cutting edge, I think this is May 21st, 2014 on 25 man. I think that was the earliest that I got. Let's see, Mythic Garrosh 5/21/14. So that was the first one I got my rogue. After that, I started working on Priest, and every single cutting edge since I've gotten on it, and we're going to be continuing on with that trend. But my guild also has mains and alts that they require of us, and as I mentioned, main will be the Priest, and my alt, I believe, is actually going to be Rain Jacket, my Shaman. I've really been enjoying Shaman on PTR lately throughout a lot of our testing, and I think this is the healer that I've really been vibing a lot with, really want to do well with in a 5-man especially, and so that's going to be my game plan as like my primary alt to bring into splits. Now, when it comes to some of our goals last season, we had the goal of improving our rank for Incarnate, the guild that I raid with, from the World 48 that we did. And actually, I said that my goal was to reach top 40, and we ended up doing that with a World 39th finish, which is freaking sweet. I think it's actually the best finish that I've had with this guild. I originally joined them back in Legion. Actually, no, it was actually Warlords of Draenor. We can't even go back that far. No, I actually joined them in Warlords of Draenor it was one of my first YouTube videos as well, of Mythic Hellfire Citadel, and that's where I actually got my first kill as a Holy Priest cutting edge at the time. So yeah, I bet I have a lot of history with this guild, raided with them for a very long time, and I think this is the best finish that we've ever had, and I'm hoping that we can kind of keep that level of World Top 40 going into Season 3. As I mentioned, we also have hit some goals and not hit some goals for Season 2. One of my goals was to get title on 2 different healers. Now, I know I'm a little out of title range at the time of this video, but I actually was just bothering some friends of mine for getting a couple more keys done. Yeah, I think I need like 2 or 3 more keys to actually end up being safe for NA's like title. We've gotten every single title. I think I missed Dragonflight Season 4, so I was done. But otherwise, we've hit every single title, and I'm going to be doing that this week, making sure I get it. But unfortunately, we didn't quite hit our goal of hitting title on 2 characters. One of the goals I had was to hit title on Holy Priest as well, and we were making pretty good progress on it, and we started just kind of hitting into like that upper wall. Unfortunately, a lot of the dungeons in Season 2 with like the ultra heavy burst damage, I just wasn't quite able to kind of get over the hump with that with Holy Priest. You kind of started hitting into another level where you kind of just need everyone to play perfectly, and there are multiple different keys where you could do it, you know you could do it, it just take an enormous amount of time. PTR came around, and then some of our other goals sort of shifted. So if I can for Season 3, I do want to make sure that I get a second spec at title level. Now, obviously, it's one thing when you have the same class and everything going on, so it's not like you're getting on 2 unique characters, not pushing up the score by going for more Holy IO, but I was really enjoying the Holy Priest in Season 2, and I think I'm going to continue enjoying it a lot in Season 3, so that'll be a huge goal of just trying to make sure I get them as close to title as I possibly can. That being said, we have been playing a lot of alts. I've gotten my Paladin, my Monk, and now my Shaman, all 8 of 8 through my guild's alt runs, and working on gearing them up, getting more familiar with them in a raiding environment, getting them ready for splits, and getting ready basically for this moment where I had to pick and choose which healer that I wanted to bring as my primary alt. And so, of course, of the list, Paladin, I think, has just been kind of on the struggle bus for a while, and I still want to make sure that I'm playing it in Season 3, but it won't be my primary alt for the season. It's been fun when players are like stacked and being able to benefit from like Herald of the Sun and all like the extra laser beams going on with it, but I think the spec has just gotten to a point where it's just not quite feeling like the Paladin of old. Paladin was the first healer I ever made, and I always remember these like slow to medium speed casts, even if a lot of them were instant cast, and then powerful heals. And we just kind of really gotten away with that through all the Dragonflight class talent bloat that goes on, and a lot of like microscopic heals, Greater Judgment, Federation, Judgment of Light type things, where it's small and less impactful healing abilities, and you have a lot of them that sort of stack on top of each other, to the point that it waters down the feeling of wings, or it waters down the feeling of something like Divine Toll, where it just doesn't really feel like you're pushing up health bars really quickly when you activate the ability. So I think Paladin might be a little bit more onto the back burner, but my goal for Season 3 is also to take every single healer to at least 3k. I got that onto my pally in Season 2 here. I also played it a good bit in Season 1 as well, when Lightsmith was just slamming, but I do want to make sure that's a priority, and so some of the first ones that I'm going to do are going to be Shaman, of course, since I'm doing splits on it, and then follow it up with Paladin and Monk. One of the goals I did lay out was getting title on Monk, and I feel like Monk really had a strong start, especially with Race to World first, and then it kind of disappeared in keys very, very quickly as Disc once again dominated the meta. I think Monk, especially where we're heading in Season 3, is becoming a lot more fun to me. I think I kind of fell off from enjoying Monk when a lot of the abilities just didn't seem as impactful, and a lot of your output felt like you were playing around Chi Harmony the entire time. Basically just amplifying your healing. The 50% bonus is now going to be 25% next season if you put the Renewing Mist on the target for, I think it's like 8 seconds or so. Now that they're tampering that down, and we have the hero talent tier set bonuses for things like Master of Harmony, where the surges that come from your Tiger Palm actually feel powerful, I am more excited about playing Monk in Season 3 than I was once I was in the middle of Season 2 and I had my character geared. That's going to be really, really fun. But I think in a lot of cases, I got really comfortable with Monk in raids, and seeing how the gameplay doesn't really seem like it's gonna be changing that much going into Season 3. I'm like, okay, I've kind of hit that goal of gameplay, playstyle, and everything along those lines, getting comfortable with it, and now I kind of want to get on to the next challenge of working Resto Shaman. And I think Resto Shaman, especially if you can make Farseer work in raids, that's what I really want to do, because, you know, so Temic is fun. It's super straightforward, super easy to get into, all of that. Cool. But I've not really seen anybody play Farseer in raid, and they did recently buff the Farseer tier set bonus next season, where it's instead of like a haste amp where you cast faster, it's actually like a 25% healing amp. So I really, really hope that Farseer is going to be making some waves in a raiding environment, and I think either way it's going to be just fun to play in a raid, especially when my guild's doing splits and we don't need to have, you know, absolutely perfect optimal output on like every single fight. So maybe I'll try to play Farseer early on for some of like the earlier bosses, and if it falls off when we get into like Demencia splits, when we're all like really needing the output, I'll probably just end up playing whatever is going to be best for that. Now that leaves us 2 other alts, which you don't actually see listed here because they have not really been played. To be honest, I've been playing my Prez and my Druid on PTR, but I have not really touched them on live this expansion. Once it kind of hit to live, I really just was not able to maintain all of those characters or really dedicate the time to it. Now, especially at the end of the expansion, I want to make sure that I'm getting to that point, getting both Tay Swiftmend and Jack Thier. Oh, that's right, I hid the profile for my Druid. He was public for a while, but then we did a 0 to hero in Dragonflight, hid the profile and everything like that, so it wouldn't be connected to mine. I think we're probably going to still go down that route, but I do need some advice on a name change, so definitely let me know if you guys got some good Druid sneaky names that I could name it to. That said, I want to make sure, especially with the patch week that's kind of like the dead week, that I start gearing my Prez and my Druid to kind of get them to a decent enough level so I can start doing M0s, start doing some 0 to heroes on those guys, because also I want to make sure, like I said, I'm hitting 3k on every healer, but also making guides for all of the healers in Season 3 for Mythic Plus, at least. We're not going to have all of them out on release, but that's going to be a goal that we're going to be working on hitting as soon as we possibly can, really, with Race to World first and all of the other things that are going on there. So that's gonna be a major priority for us, and making sure that the YouTube channel has all those kind of updates. So be sure to like and subscribe if those are going to be helpful or interesting for you. We also got merch. It's coming around. Keep an eye out for it. It should be in the description on YouTube if I haven't already, or I'll make a link for it depending on when the shop is all set and all prepared. But we got brand new Priest shirts. I got another one for Disc that you'll probably see in some other videos coming up soon, but if you guys want to check them out, that would be super sick. We have not done any new apparel in eternity, so I would super love it if you guys check it out. We also are having like mugs, some beanies, some other things with some of the designs that we got worked on. And I am super hyped about that one as well. So that's my game plan going into Season 3. We're going to be trying to get 8 of 8 Mythic on as many healers when we get into farm content, which we're going to chip away at, gear all the healers and take them all to at least 3k, try to bring 2 specs to title range or close to it is going to be a main priority, and plus guides for all of the healers. And we want to do a little bit more variety on the live stream. I know the standalone like M+ game Fellowship is coming around at some point this year, probably near the end of the year. So maybe around the time that WoW starts kind of just dropping off in the season, I'm going to make it a priority to start hitting a Fellowship really hard. It's really cool when it comes to the healing because it feels like mana actually matters, but there's good out of combat regens. You're not just sitting there drinking. They have a pretty good system that I've seen so far. I'm still new to it, of like gemming, where it almost feels like you can have a lot more like passive mitigation or like avoidance setup, almost akin to what we experienced in like Legion M+, where you don't have like 50 million defensive abilities, but you do need to like choose how to build up your character for more defense to survive some of the higher level dungeons. So I'm really excited about that game, and I might do another channel on it. We might just do some videos on this channel. Still debating depending on how I'm feeling about it, but I'm absolutely super stoked for that game as well. So huge thank you to our patrons who are making all this content possible. If you'd like to join them and to get some awesome benefits like having my UI, we are in the process of rebuilding. This is like a Luxos aura that I have in the center. I'm working on my own version of it, and hopefully by mid-end August, I should have it out for people. If not sooner, we'll see, as we have a lot of guides and a lot of things to get done and get together for you guys. We'll also have new access to early videos, and I'm gonna work on having this ERT reminder tool. Basically how this works is it will set up a timeline of abilities just like the Liquid one does, but I didn't wanna like buy the Liquid reminders add-on and then tell people to buy that and then, you know, get the setup and everything along those lines. So I'm gonna work on this going into my raid prog so that I have notes set up for like Holy and Disc, and we'll see. I don't want to promise too much, but I want to start getting these together during my progress so that I can share it afterwards. So keep an eye out for that as well. Probably give early access to like subs and patrons and stuff like that, because I can't do all of this without you guys. So thank you so much for all the support that you guys have been giving me this year. It has been absolutely insane, and we're only going up from here. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll catch you all next time.